my channel. Teresa Love here. Thank you so much for clicking. It means so much. If you like this video, that would really help out my channel, and if you could subscribe, I would love for you to join the family. Today I wanted to do a video on how to keep track of the books you own. Do you love books? Do you love to read? Do you have so many books that you don't even know which ones you have and which ones you don't? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I have something for you. I sound like an infomercial, but I'm not. I am just so excited about this video. Do you think there's a way to keep track of the books that you own without writing every single one down on a piece of paper and then bringing the piece of paper with you everywhere? I was so confused and so afraid that I'd be in a bookstore and I'd buy a double because I couldn't remember which ones I have, because as you can tell, I have a lot of books. But I love every single one of them. So I love books and I read a ton of books and I own a ton of books. What I really love to do is when I read a book, I love to keep it and I love to have it and I love organizing and decorating it in my room. So I love Goodreads. Goodreads is this amazing app that lets you keep track of what you've read and your progress on what you're reading. It's super awesome to find new books, find books that maybe you hadn't even thought of, or recommendations. I love Goodreads and I cannot say enough good things about it. So I created these electronic versions of bookshelves. When I buy a book, the first thing I do when I come home is I go onto my Goodreads. When I buy a book, the first thing I do is I type in the book, like Fangirl, and I click on the book. And I already marked it want to read. Then I click this, press more shelves, and I have all these shelves. We have adult owned, Christian owned, Disney fairy tale owned, graphic novels owned, Kindle owned, middle grade owned, YA supernatural owned, and YA owned. Then I press what category it would go on, and then I press done. So how I converted all of my books from physical books to on my electronic bookshelves is I picked up every single book I owned and I typed in the title in the Goodreads app. And then if it didn't say want to read already, I press it want to read, and then I pressed that little arrow and I said put it in a shelf. And then whatever category that book goes in, like this is Shatter Me. So Shatter Me would go into Supernatural because she has like supernatural powers, so I put it in Supernatural owned. But what I do is I keep all of my bookshelves -owned so that I know which ones I have at home. So this has been super awesome when I'm at a bookstore and I'm looking for a certain book, but maybe I know I have book 1, 2, but I can't remember if I have 3 and 4. Then I just look on the app and I just type in like Beautiful Creatures and or the Castor Chronicles, and I type it in and I know I book 1 and I know I book 2, but I don't have 3 and I don't have 4. And I have 4, there's 4 at the bookstore, but maybe I don't want 4 yet. And then when I'm at the bookstore, it's super easy to just type in my Goodreads. Okay, Sarah Dessen. Okay, I have Dreamland, I have I have this lullaby, and oh, I don't have Keeping the Moon. Okay, I can buy it. So it's a great way to categorize and remember through an electronic version the books that you own, because collecting books, you have a lot of books and you get them on sale and you don't always you see like so many at once. Like when I do a haul, I get like 10 books, and like how are you supposed to remember every single one of them? So this app and this way of these electronic bookshelves really helps you know what you own. It's just really exciting, and I thought I would share it. One of my friends on Bookstagram was like, hey, how do you keep track of the books you own? And I mentioned it to her and she got all excited, so I thought I would create a YouTube video on it because I'm a YouTuber and that's what I do. And I really wanted to share it, and hopefully this helps you out in your reading game, and maybe you'll even be reading more books and you won't be afraid to buy a double book or not know the books that you own. Or when you go to pick out a book, which is what I love to do, is I'll look it on my phone and be like, I feel like reading a Disney retelling, and I'll click on it. Ooh, I'm gonna read Cinderella Lunar Chronicles. Like, it's just kind of an exciting way to do it. That is an easy way on how to keep track of all the books you own. I would love for you to like this video, and if you subscribe, I would love for you to join the family. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!